The funeral director wouldn't let me say goodbye to my mother until I paid in full. Mr. Vance stood between me and the viewing room door, his thin lips pressed together like he was holding back a smile. $8,000, cash or certified check only, no exceptions. My mother had been dead for 36 hours. She'd collapsed at work from a brain aneurysm that nobody saw coming. One minute she was answering phones at the dental office. The next, she was gone. I'd driven 14 hours straight from college just to see her one last time. I have $3,000 now, I said, holding out the envelope I'd scraped together from my savings and emergency fund. The life insurance takes 2 weeks to process. Please, I just need 5 minutes. He adjusted his black tie and shook his head. Company policy. Full payment secures viewing rights. Your mother's been prepared already. That costs money. Through the narrow window in the door, I could see the edge of her casket, white with gold handles, just like she'd always said she wanted. My knees felt weak. Can I set up a payment plan? I'll sign anything. This isn't a used car lot, he said. We provide dignified services for those who can afford them. I wanted to scream that my mother had prepaid for everything 5 years ago, but Hurricane Maria had destroyed all the paperwork along with our house in Puerto Rico. The funeral home claimed they had no record of it. Mom always kept receipts for everything, but they were gone now, buried under mud and debris. My Aunt Rosa arrived an hour later with my younger brother Diego. He was only 15 and had been staying with her since Mom died. The moment Diego saw that closed door, he broke down. Why can't we see her? He sobbed. Mr. Vance appeared again like a vulture. As I explained to your sister, viewing requires full payment. She's our mother, Diego said. She's right there, and she'll remain there until financial obligations are met. Rosa pulled out her checkbook. How much more do you need? $5,000, Mr. Vance said. Though I should mention, every day of storage adds 200 to the total. Storage? Rosa's voice cracked. She's not a piece of furniture. Climate-controlled facilities aren't free, ma'am. I spent the next day calling everyone. Mom's co-workers pooled together $800. Her church group managed another $500, but we were still short. Meanwhile, Mom's viewing was scheduled for tomorrow, and relatives were flying in from Puerto Rico and New York. That night, I sat in the funeral home parking lot with my laptop, using their Wi-Fi to search for anything about Mr. Vance. What I found made my stomach turn. 17 complaints to the Better Business Bureau. 3 lawsuits for holding bodies hostage. One widow had to take out a payday loan just to bury her husband. The next morning, relatives started arriving for the viewing. Cousins I hadn't seen in years. Mom's best friend from high school. Her favorite coworker who used to bring her cafe con leche every morning. Mr. Vance met us at the door. I assume you have the remaining balance? We have 4,300 more, I said. That's everything. Then I'm afraid the viewing is canceled. He turned to address the growing crowd. Everyone needs to leave. Now, my Uncle Miguel, who'd flown in from San Juan, stepped forward. You're really not letting us say goodbye? Not without full payment. That's when Diego lost it. Mom saved for this, he screamed. She showed me the receipts. She paid you people 5 years ago. Mr. Vance's face twitched, just for a second, but I caught it. Diego, I said slowly, what receipts? The ones in her recipe box. She always said important papers go with important things. My heart started racing. Mom's recipe box was at Rosa's house, one of the few things we'd grabbed from Mom's apartment. I called Rosa, had her dump it out on her kitchen table while on FaceTime. There, between her arroz con gandules recipe and her mother's flan instructions, were 3 receipts. Funeral prepayment plan, $8,000, paid in full to Vance Funeral Services. I held my phone up to Mr. Vance's face. Explain this. The color drained from his cheeks. Those could be forged. With your signature and your notary stamp, the crowd of relatives pressed closer. Someone started recording. Mr. Vance grabbed for my phone, but Uncle Miguel stepped between us. Open the door, Miguel said quietly. Now. Mr. Vance fumbled for his keys, his hands shaking. The moment that door opened, we flooded in. There was Mom, peaceful in her white dress, the one she wore to my high school graduation. Diego collapsed beside her casket, holding her hand. Rosa stroked Mom's hair. We all said our goodbyes properly, with dignity. 3 weeks later, Mr. Vance was arrested for fraud. Turns out he'd been keeping prepayments and demanding double payment from grieving families for years. 18 families came forward. He got 12 years in prison and lost his license. We buried Mom on a sunny Thursday. The whole neighborhood came. Her coworker brought cafe con leche for everyone, just like Mom would have wanted.